I'm Tristan.
And I'm Jake.
And we are going to teach you how to build a fire.
Not any old fire, but a survival fire. You can build a fire like this. But today we're going to teach you how to build a small survival fire. First thing that you need to know when building a campfire is to know where to set it up. Right here we have a perfect campfire site. Here you see that the campfire is on ground that isn't filled by debris or dry grass. It is surrounded by rocks so the fire can be controlled, and it isn't under any trees so the smoke can't burn it up. Next we'll talk about what kind of wood you need.
Okay, so you're going to need to know the 3 types of wood you need to start a fire. The first type is tinder. This is going to be the small stuff like dry pine needles. You can get dry grasses, really small twigs, something like this. And
The second biggest type of wood, which is also the second smallest, is kindling. Kindling you don't want to find off trees, but you actually want to find them on the ground. So this is a good type of kindling. It's a twig that's less than an inch thick. Sure, it can be a little bigger than this, but it's less than an inch thick in diameter, and it burns well since it was on the ground and it breaks easily.
so now you got your tinder, you got your kindling. So the third type you're going to need is fuel. You want it to be smaller than this, but you want it to be larger than an inch thick, and well, you'd want to put it into the fire after it burns down. Okay, so you're gonna want about a handful of tinder after you collected all your stuff, a couple handfuls of kindling, and 3 or 4 logs as fuel.
There are 2 different ways that we're going to show you how to build fires. The first way that we're going to show you is how to build a log cabin fire. A log cabin fire is used by using kindling and tinder as the structure. This fire is best for larger fires and isn't the best for survival. But we're still going to show you. So to start off, you want to put some tinder down in the center of the fire circle, and spread it out. And then you want to take the kindling that you have, and you want to put 2 pretty long sticks across from each other, parallel. Once you've done that, you want to take 2 more sticks and put them parallel, but this way also opposite of the other ones, so it makes a square. Then you'll continue doing that, making it a little bit in, about a 1/4 inch in further on both sides, and adding so it sort of looks like a pyramid. This will sort of build the structure of the kindling, and you want to get the sticks smaller and smaller as you go towards the top so it can burn a little easier at the top. And then once you've lit the fire, you will start adding on stuff like fuel as it gets bigger and bigger, and tinder also.
Okay, so the second type of fire we're going to show you is a teepee fire. You want to start off with a Y-shaped stick, and you want to get another straight one. And you just want to add a couple to support it. And once it can stand by itself, you know you have the basic structure. Okay, so now you need to add your tinder. You want to fill it up. You want to fill the teepee up as much as you can, because this is what you're going to light it with. And Okay, so you got your tinder. Now you can just take smaller sticks and start stacking them up around the tinder and on the basic structure of the teepee. So just over and over. And this is important because it's gonna help the teepee stand up, and it's gonna help lock the tree. It's gonna lock the heat in, so it's gonna burn faster. And then you get your logs and can put it on, and that'll keep it burning. And okay, so you got your sticks around it, and now you can take something like small twigs and just kind of place it around the teepee. And now you just kind of add some more sticks just to cover it up as much as you can. And then just keep adding. And there's your teepee.
Before lighting your fire, you need to take some precautions and be prepared to tend your fire. First thing that you'll need is a bucket of water, as shown here. You'll need at least 1 gallon of water. Second thing you need is some extra tinder, extra kindling, and some fuel, which you haven't added to the fire yet, but as the fire progressively gets bigger, you may add.
Okay, so now you need to light the fire. You take out a match from a matchbox and you strike it, and then you light. Okay, you want to make sure it doesn't go out. And if it's already lit, it won't light again, so you need to get out a new match. And you want to light the tinder, and then you let it burn for a bit.
When you're lighting the fire, you want to light towards the bottom because A, it keeps the wind out, and B, heat rises. So when the tinder starts to burn, the flames will rise up and hopefully light the kindling. So once you've got your fire going, you want to start adding some more kindling. This will help the fire continue to burn. And eventually, once the fire gets big enough, you can start adding some fuel. But our fire isn't there yet, so we're not going to do it. Now is the time where you are going to add your log. The teepee may fall over at this time, but make sure that your log is properly in, making an X. And that's how you build a teepee fire.
Okay, so now you've burnt your fire down, and it's a pretty much pile of ash. So now you need to know how to put it out. What you're going to do is you're going to take a decent sized log or something like that, and you are going to you're going to smother it. Cut it off from all oxygen.
You want to spread out the embers and ashes as much as possible so they tend to cool off a little quicker. And one thing that you would want to do, this is what the buckets of water is for, you want to sprinkle a little bit on. And then you'll spread it out some more and continue the process.
Make sure to get some of the mud onto the sticks because it cools the sticks down a lot faster.
Make sure none of the sticks or embers come or fall out of the fire pit, because that could become a hazard.
And add more water. Just to, like, if it's still smoking, then it's still a bad sign, and it means it's still really hot. It can still catch on fire again. So the way to see if it's it's cooled down enough is you put your hand right here.
Back of your hand.
And the back of your hand right here, and if you can still feel heat, then it's not put out enough. If you can't, which I can't feel any heat right now, it's good.
So that's how you build a fire. Just remember these 4 safety tips.
Remember not to use flammable liquids when starting the fire. It can burn uncontrollably.
Remember never to leave your fire unattended.
Also, keep the ashes inside the fire pit.
Remember to keep your fire small and in control. Have fun building your own fire. Alright, so there are 2 ways to build fires.
And make sure not to knock it down. And you just keep adding it. And this is what you're gonna light. So it's really, really important to get enough tinder. Stop it.
As your fire gets progressively bigger, you can add more. So I'm going to add on a little more tinder. Hot sausage.
All right. Okay, you ready?
So you want to be able to dip your finger in the fire and lick it.
Mmm.